Hey, resilient champions, welcome to today's live stream. I hope you're all doing fine. And we are continuing our series on your personal SWOT analysis. Today is the last of the four parts. We already did the strengths analysis, the weaknesses, the opportunities. Today we are talking about the threats analysis. Hey Queen, welcome. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing fine. I have been missing. I don't know if it's you who has been missing or it's me who has been missing, but we have been missing, and I'm trying to sort out a few things. I will come back to completely like fully active. I hope by the beginning of October I will come back fully active. So I hope you're doing fine. I am doing fine. Just that life is lifing me, but all is okay. Hi, Roxanne. Welcome, my dear friend. Hi, Queen. I hope you're doing fine today. I am glad. It's always an honor to have you all. I don't take your time for granted. Thank you so much for stopping by and for supporting me and for always supporting this channel. I am grateful. Okay. Don't worry, as long as you are busy gathering a lot of money so that when I come, there will be a lot of nice things. So just continue being busy and keeping the money. I'm glad to know that you are well. Okay, so we today we want to talk about the threat analysis, and we are focusing on looking at okay. Hey, and Kenya is in the house. Welcome. Hi, beautiful. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always an honor to have you. I am glad that you find time to come to the live stream. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. So we started a four-part series. You remember my workbook, the ultimate personal SWOT analysis guide, and I've been taking you through the four parts, the four parts of the SWOT analysis. And today is the last or the fourth part of the SWOT, which is the T, and we titled today How to Create Your Proactive Success Plan. But before we are going to deep dive into the how to create a proactive plan, we are going to start from the beginning with the basic. And we always say, for many people, SWOT is like they don't remember that it's an acronym. That's why each time I start by defining the meaning of SWOT, which is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So you have it on screen. The S is for strengths, the W is for weaknesses, the O is for opportunities, and the T is for threats. And we are doing a personal SWOT analysis. For those of you who work with nonprofits or NGOs, you know that NGOs always do SWOT analysis in their projects. But we are also saying that you should treat your life like a project cycle. And that's why we need a personal SWOT analysis to guide us. So today we are talking about the threats. And the threats can either be external factors or internal anxieties that could hinder our progress. And by acknowledging our threats, we can develop effective strategies to mitigate their impact on us and ensure that we remain on track with our goals. So we want to be proactive, and this is the best way to transform your challenges or your stumbling blocks into stepping stones. And we call that risk management approach, which helps us to remain on track despite the challenges. Because why? We are being proactive. We are looking at the challenges. We are looking at the threats, be they external or internal, and we are proactively preparing. Hi, Maria. I'm so glad to have you. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the live stream. You are a resilient champion. Please write house in the chat, and Nightbot will drop your links so you can connect with each other. Maria, it's a pleasure to have you. Here we call everyone a resilient champion. Because why? Because we all have track record of the things that we have overcome that did not break us, and that we used the lessons to build back better. And that's why we call ourselves here resilient champions. So I'm glad to have you as part of the resilient champions. You are very welcome. This is a very, very accommodating community where we are focused on building each other up. So we are focused on growing together. So we started this series with the strengths analysis, the weaknesses analysis, opportunities. Today we are just going to discuss about the threats. And if you have any questions or any contributions, please, we can share in the chat, and then we can share together. And because we are in a continuous learning process, and we always learn from each other, because we are all unique and gifted in different ways, but we together can combine our gifts to make a very successful lifestyle for ourselves. So we are saying, yes, absolutely. I always say, and when you have a when you have when you have a challenge, you always remind yourself that you have overcome challenges before, and that you can overcome this one. Hi, Nyobanda, you are welcome. Thank you so much. This is the first time I'm seeing you on this channel. You are welcome. And you are also a resilient champion. I was just explaining why we call everyone here a resilient champion, because we all have a track record of having overcome adversity, and we are still standing. Because when we are pushed, when we are challenged, we dig deep, and we always realize that the answers are within most of the time. So we are doing a personal SWOT analysis. We are doing a personal SWOT analysis, and we already talked about the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And I have a workbook that I have published. The link is in the description below. You can get your copy from Amazon, which can guide you to do your personal SWOT analysis, because it is the best tool that you can use to do your honest auto evaluation of your strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities around you, and the threats. So today we are talking about threats, and we are talking about threats in the way to how to be proactive, how to know the threats around us, because the threats could be in our environment or within us. And when they are in our environment, it means they are out of our sphere of control. We cannot control what will happen to the weather, what will happen to the economy, or what will happen to the prices, but we can control the way we respond to these changes. And that's why we want to do a SWOT analysis, so that we identify those threats and find proactive risk management approaches that will help us to mitigate the challenges that are in our environment, or that are blocking us from achieving success. So by anticipating your potential challenges, you can leverage your strengths, you can address your weaknesses, and capitalize on the opportunities around you to navigate the threats effectively. And remember, when they say opportunity should meet preparedness, this is what we are doing. We want that all the opportunities that we have identified should meet us prepared to, to, to embrace them. And how can you be prepared? By identifying the challenges or the threats in your environment and finding your own creative solution. Finding your own creative solution means, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anne, for bringing all the resilient champions to the house. I am so grateful. Thank you for coming and for honoring Anne's invitation. Anne is a sweetheart. Thank you so much, Anne. You are appreciated, you are loved. So we were saying that when you find out what your threats are, they should help you to be prepared to embrace the opportunities or to seize the opportunities that are in your environment. Remember, we say people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's why you have to know all these things. You have to know all these things because, like they say, people people perish for the lack of knowledge. And you're not only like being creating awareness and knowing these things, but using them optimally to succeed. So your threats can either come from your family, from your workplace, from policies, from people, from situations, or even from ourselves. So when you are looking at the threats, it's not a way of succumbing or like saying, okay, I have this threat and it's going to be so difficult. Prices are going to be rising and all of that. Okay, so let me just fold my hands. No. We are looking about what are the threats in the environment so as to be prepared, so as to be proactive, so as to find mitigating strategies. And you can't find a solution when you don't know the problem. And that's why you have to dig deep and find out what are the environmental challenges, what are the upcoming challenges that can really hinder my success or my progress, both personally or professionally. And that's why you should take time to learn these things, identifying your threats and use them to prepare yourself to seize the opportunities in your environment. Remember, when opportunities meet preparedness, success is guaranteed. So, when you talk about threats, you have to understand what are threats. What are threats? And we say threats are those conditions or things that stop us from reaching our potentials, from reaching our goals. Threats are the things that hinder us, that hinder our progress, that hinder our success. And we are saying that the threats can come from family, from friends, from your workplace, even from within. And that's why you have to understand what kind of threats you are dealing with. This will help you to know what kind of strategies to implement. So when we are talking about external environmental factors, we first have to bear in mind that these are things that are beyond our control. We can't control what is happening out there. We can't control industry dynamics, economic fluctuations, increase in prices, competitive landscape, technological advancements, and all of those things that are associated with growth. With development comes more challenges. As we are developing, we are becoming more and more, things are changing. And sometimes it is challenging for us to adapt. So we have to know these external factors. True, we don't have control over them, but it is our responsibility to find strategies to mitigate the impact on us. So know what is going to happen, but don't sit there and start analyzing, okay, if the prices are going to rise, who is going to have more money, who is going to gain. No, that's not your business. That's not our business. Our business is, if the prices are going to rise, how am I going to make more money to be able to meet my bills? That's why we say know the challenges that are coming and then find creative ways of solving them. And we are saying that the threats can be external. Hey, Nikki, you are welcome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you. You're harvesting a lot of things, girl. I'm sure you really like, okay, let me just lie down on my balcony and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But you worked really hard, and I am really proud of you. Like I told you, you need now a farm. That garden is really, really becoming small for your expertise. So, girl, find a bigger farm and we'll bring bigger baskets to harvest. So, we are talking about the types of threats, external, or also they could be internal challenges. And what are the internal challenges? These are the ones that you can control because they are within you. And those are something like your skill gaps, your work life imbalance, procrastination, time management issues, or your resistance to change, and all of these things that you can manage, you can work on. It's not easy, but these are the ones that you can manage. They are internal challenges. You have your skills gap. For instance, there's a lot of technological growth, and if you are in the workplace, you need to up your skills. So when you identify a skills gap, you can go take a training, you can go and take a course, a specific course, because you are clear on what you need to be competitive. Competitive, you have to meet up with the standards. And we live in a very constantly growing environment that it is growing exponentially. So if you have to remain profitable or in the market, you have to also up your level, up your skills. So internal challenges are those skill gaps. This is within your control. You can identify your skills gaps and decide to go learn them. Or if you're doing a job and you identify a skills gap in something that you really can't do, that is what you are going to source out. So you are clear on the challenge that you have, and then you find out which is the best cost effective way for me to get this challenge. So if you are, hey Lucy, you are welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. So if you are identifying your threats, internal ones are those that are within your sphere of control, which means if you fail because you don't have the skills required, you have to blame yourself. So I'm not saying that you have not tried enough. I am saying that this one is within your sphere of control. You can control what skills you want to learn, or you can control what you want to do in comparison to if prices are increasing, those are external. Or if they are going to uh, cut down on workers and lay off people, that is not within your sphere of control. You can't manage that, but you can prepare yourself to find the next job. And that's why you have to find out which are the external threats, which are the internal ones, and then you prepare to mitigate the consequences of the external threats on you. For instance, if one of your internal challenges is also time management issues or procrastination, so you know that when you procrastinate and you are working in a group or in a team, and your own part of the work always comes in late, it really affects the overall production of the team. So this is something that you can work on and become like find ways to motivate yourself to meet your deadlines so that you don't disturb the workflow. Even if you are working for yourself, you also have to put those deadlines so that you meet your targets and you also meet your goals for the month or for the quarter or for the year. So all of these things, they are in one way internal challenges which are within your sphere of control and influence, and external challenges that you don't have any control over, but you have the responsibility to find the best way to mitigate the impact on you, which means you are finding the best way to survive the upcoming economic crisis. It's not going to be easy, but it is not going to crush you because you are prepared and you are like adaptable. You are going to adapt to the new changes that are coming. And remember, we said growth comes with adaptability. When those who adapt easily, it's not even really easy to adapt. But those who are open to learn new things and adapt, they become more successful, especially in the changing world of today. So one of the internal challenges that people have is they resist change. Change is coming. There are changes in the way people do things, and I am like one of the people who was resisting the use of artificial intelligence. But nowadays, if you don't use AI, your productivity level is really not optimal. You are not going to use AI to become a robot, but you are going to use the prompts in AI to facilitate your work. So if you have procrastination or time management issues, this AI is here to help you facilitate your work. It's not going to do the work for you, but it's going to facilitate the work for you. And so when you are open to change, you always gain. And that's why I say internal challenges, they include resistance to changes. Whether we like it or not, the changes are coming every day. Are we going to embrace them, or we are going to close an eye and say, I have like one of my uncles, when they brought the cell phones, he thought that it was so like using a cell phone was like so controlling. He's always with his phone and all of that. Instead of his landline that is in the house, if he's away, he will come back and listen to all the missed calls and the messages. But with your cell phone, it's like, so he found it so controlling, and he always kept his cell phone at home. And we always reminded him that that cell phone is called a mobile phone. You have to find a way of going around with your phone, even if you are in the kitchen or you are upstairs or downstairs. It's like a prison, but that is the functional, that is how it functions. And that's how the world is today. Maybe you are waiting for a phone call, or somebody is calling you for an opportunity. You don't want to miss it because your phone was not near you. So those are some of the changes that It's not very easy to adapt, but we have to practice. We have to really be open. We have to have that open mindset to look at those things that are progressive and that can help us and adapt to the changes that are coming. Gradually, you're not going to just enter in it. You gradually take what can help you to grow. And so you make your life a little more easy each time. It's not easy, but it is doable. And that one is within your sphere of control. You can just decide to learn how to, once in a while, help you to find a way of carrying your phone or keeping it nearby at an eyes view or sometimes. But you have to find creative ways to mitigate these changes, all the threats that are in your external environment that are out of your sphere of control, but that influence your day-to-day life because you live in society, you don't live in isolation. And society is dynamic, it is always changing, there are always new trends coming up. And sometimes when you don't embrace those new trends, it becomes more challenging for you. And the earlier you embrace them, the better. Sometimes when you embrace them late, you really ask yourself, why have I been missing out so much? I know it's not easy, but also we should make an effort. So we are talking about our challenges. Let me recap. Today we are talking about the threats in your personal SWOT analysis guide. And we are saying that the threats could be external factors or internal anxieties or challenges that could hinder our progress. And we are acknowledging the threats so that we can look for creative ways to mitigate the impact on us. And we are saying that threats sometimes could come from the family, from the workplace, from, from people, from policies, from situations, or even from ourselves. I know that when you are talking about a threat that is coming from family, it is a family member who is like, every time you meet with them, it's big trouble. You can't cut off family like that, like easily, like you will cut off people from outside. But you can find a way of, if you have, excuse me, if you have a nagging spouse, just find a way of managing their moods. It's not easy, but you have to find a way. If you have a colleague who is like really not keeping their deadlines and really affecting the workflow, you could have a conversation and find a way of helping the person to work better, more time efficient. So it's it's not easy, but that's life. That's life for you. So life is like that, full of adapting, adjustments, and ups and downs. We are not like robots. We are not robots. We are human beings, and human beings. Hey, Helen, you are so welcome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming. I am having a lot of resilient champions coming. Thank you so much. Absolutely, Nikki. So we are like, we are not robots, but we are embracing the new technology. We are embracing Nightbot, but we are saying Nightbot, don't overstep your bounds because we are humans. So we are embracing all these new technologies and trying to look at how they can help us to make work easy. They are not going to replace the work, or they are not going to replace us. We are working together. So you give the prompt, and then you get the easy way of, like, if they already prompt your text for you, it's much easier now for you to complete it. Hey, who do we have here? We have Gorex. You are so welcome, beautiful. Gorex is my channel member. Thank you so much for coming. I am so grateful for your support and for your love. Hi, Tamika. Hi, Queen. You're welcome. Tamika is one of the very, very like supportive people in these white streets. You are so welcome. Thank you so much. Lucy came in, and everybody who is coming, I am welcoming everyone. Thank you so much for coming. It is a great pleasure. I don't take your time for granted. Thank you so much. You are celebrated, you are appreciated, and I love you all. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Even those who are in the bushes, you are also well celebrated because we can't do it alone. We are growing further together. So, we are talking about how to mitigate the impact of the threats, especially the external environmental threats on our progress and success. And we have said that, what did we say? We said external environmental threats are things that are outside our sphere of control. This is the industry dynamics, economic fluctuations, competitive landscape, technological advancements, and all those things that are changing in the environment, or in our society, or even changes in policies that really affect our income or expenditure that we don't have any control over. But why are we interested in that? We are interested in these threats because we want to take proactive risk management strategies. We want to find the best ways to mitigate the impact of all these challenges on us, on our projects, on our life, on our lifestyle. So you can't just sit and exist. You have to know what is happening and then be prepared. Like they say, when opportunities meet preparedness, success is guaranteed. And that's why we are talking about all of these analysis. Now, the aim of like the second part of this presentation, like we said, was how to create your proactive success plan. Because when we are saying that you identify, when you have identified all these threats, all these, like today we are talking about threats, when you have identified the whole SWOT, like your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats, when you have identified all of this, how do you use them to create a proactive success plan for yourself? Because we want to work smarter. We don't want to work hard. We want to be able to be time efficient, cost effective, which means we want to be productive. We take the least time to get the most productivity. You want to be cost efficient, cost effective, and time efficient. And that's why you have to always ask questions. It's not like it's not like question and answer is just for people in the classroom or in the school who are taking exams. Life is all about questions and answers. And so please drop house in the chat, and Nightboard will drop your link so we can connect to each other and continue growing together. So how do you create your proactive success plan? Remember, we are always like, when we are saying we are treating our lives like a project cycle, it's the same thing. We always have to be monitoring, evaluating, looking around, and asking questions. Are things really going the way I want? Is there anything that I could have done that will give me better results? How can I make life better for me and my family, my environment? Or how can I make myself a valuable colleague in the workplace, a valuable spouse, a valuable parent, and all of that? We always have to ask questions because we live in a very dynamic environment. Things are changing every day. Things are not the same like they were like last year, not to talk of 5 years ago, not to talk of 10 years ago. So what are the steps that can help you to sorry what are the steps that can help you to create a proactive success plan? And the first one is you have to have your clear and measurable goals. Set clear and measurable goals, which means you have to define what you want to achieve. Make your goals clear and measurable. What do you want to achieve? Like they will always say, create SMART goals, which is another acronym for the SMART is for the S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and the T is for time bound. So create your clear and measurable goals. Ask yourself, what do I want to achieve? So when they say clear goals, it means these goals have to really be specific. You can't just say, I want to be successful. That's the general thing. But if you say, I want to increase my annual income by 20% within the next 12 months, that's it now. You're going to, oh, what do we have here? We have a lot of eminent personalities in the house. Hi, my brother, Vision Preparedness. Thank you so much for coming. I greatly, greatly appreciate your time. Vision Preparedness is like, he is the king of proactivity. He is always preparing for all the external threats that are coming. So you are welcome. Fam, please, if you write house in the chat, Nightbot will drop your link. So the first way of creating your proactive success plan is to set clear and measurable goals. You are making them measurable, achievable, because you don't want to thank you so much. The pleasure is shared. I am also so happy to see you too. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much, and I don't take it for granted. I greatly appreciate it. So you are making them achievable. You are setting the goals that you can achieve, and you are setting the goals, which means I will not go and set a goal of I'm laughing because when you say you setting an achievable goal, if I say I want to increase my annual income by 20%, that's something achievable because I need to find out what strategies do I need to put in place to be able to achieve 20% more in my income. And that's something that I can measure. That's something that I can achieve. I can add one or two activities. But if I now go and make a goal of building like another spaceship, that's like wishful thinking. I am not even in that area, and so I'm not going to be thinking about things that I don't know how to do. Which so you are building your clear and measurable goals in alignment with the your gifts and your talents that you have identified in your strengths. So it's a continuation. You are using all the strengths and the opportunities to set clear and measurable goals. Absolutely. And then the second way to build your proactive success plan is of course, your honest self-assessment. And that is where the personal SWOT analysis guide comes in. Because in this guide, it is helping you to analyze your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And this is going to help you to find your potential, to find those hidden talents, to find your unique value proposition. And when you find this unique value proposition, this is how you are going to become successful because you are focusing on the things that you can do. You are focusing on your own Michael Jordan level talent, because we all have that kind of talent in one thing or the other. He has his in basketball. We all have our own Michael Jordan level talent at something. So, in your strengths analysis, like we did 3 weeks ago, you have identified all the strengths, and you have identified the weaknesses, because you want to source out the things that are challenging for you to do, and you have found out the opportunities that are in your environment. Today, you are doing a threat analysis to find out what are the threats that are in my environment, or what are the threats that I cause for myself, those skill gaps, or those time management or procrastination moments that stop me from meeting my deadlines. So you are doing all of these things because you want to have a focused way of carrying out your activities. You don't want to just be doing, you get up in the morning and you are doing everything, and by evening you have not really achieved one thing. And that's why you have to do your personal SWOT analysis. It is so useful. It is really useful. It saves you time and stress and money over things that are within your sphere of control and things that are not within your sphere of control. Now, when you have set your clear and measurable goals, and you have conducted an honest and thorough self assessment, your self awareness, the next thing is to create a detailed plan. Create a detailed action plan. And why do they say you should create a plan? Because they say what gets written gets done. If your plan is just in your head, you don't even see it. But if you have it written down, you can see clearly that I am not really progressing in this plan. Things are not going the way I wanted. And that is going to really, like, by the end of the year, you have not achieved the results, or you have not progressed. So you are creating a detailed action plan because you want to outline specific steps that you need to take to achieve your goals. You have to break down the larger tasks into smaller, manageable ones. For instance, your monthly goals, you can break them down to your weekly targets, and you can break them down to your daily tasks. For instance, if I want to write, to finish writing my book in 90 days, say I have to write roughly 90,000 words. So when I look at this 90,000 words, it's like, oh my God, this is so big, and I'll just get discouraged because I'm seeing 90,000. But if I create a detailed plan, a weekly, a monthly target, a weekly target, a daily target, it's going to help me. So instead of looking like at creating 90,000 words in 90 days, I would think about 90 days is roughly 13 weeks, which is roughly 3 months. So if I say, okay, I can do 30,000 words per month, even if I work 5 days, if I write for 5 days, let's keep weekends, and you're not going to spend the whole your lifetime writing. You can you have the weekends and time for other things. So I'm breaking my 90,000 words into monthly targets. My monthly targets, every month I want to write at least 30,000 words, which means every week I have to write how many? Maybe 6,000 words. And if I have to write 6,000 words, it means every day I should be able to write 1,000 words. So, and then you can easily count them on your Word document. At least they give you the word count. So it's easy for you to know how many words you already have. So when you create this detailed plan, it makes it more workable, because you are seeing just the 1,000 words. By the time you want to write one sentence, you've already written a sentence. Some sentences can take you 10 words and all of that. So sometimes your 1,000 words is like 2 pages. So if you are writing 2 pages a day, that's workable, and that does not, it's not like overwhelming. You are not like just being afraid of, or just thinking about, because sometimes when we think about the magnitude of what we have to do, we just get discouraged. When you just think about, oh my God, I have to do 90,000 words, and you like, when will I ever write 90,000 words? But if you see yourself that I have to write 1,000 words a day, or that by the end of each week I should have at least 6,000 words, it's doable. You can write 6,000 words per week. So creating a detailed plan helps you to outline the specific steps you need to take to achieve your goals. And when you break them down in details, it's even more motivating. It's more inspiring. You can easily get motivated to continue writing. So it is important to break down your. Why does this thing keep going ahead of time? Come on. So it's much easier when you have broken down in detail what your action plan is. Remember, your monthly targets, your weekly or your monthly goals, your weekly targets, and your daily tasks. And life becomes much easier. And so, one other thing is, when you have are building your proactive success plan, prioritizing tasks and managing time effectively is really important, because when you allocate time accordingly, it ensures that you are working on the most impactful activities. You want to be productive. So you are saying that, okay, I want to spend my afternoons, or like some days you can spend afternoons. Let me go back to my writing a book example, because I'm writing a book. I'm doing a book now. Like I explained to you, this workbook is just an extract from the Reset Solutions book that I'm writing. So sometimes I get the motivation during the mornings, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening. But I make sure that I meet my daily targets. I hold myself accountable. And when you prioritize, it means that you don't want to spend your time just doing everything. You are focusing on the things that are written in your goal, in the goal that you set. And then you are focusing on the urgent and the important task first. That's why you are prioritizing. There are some tasks that you can do later, and there are some that you can do now. So when I'm writing, I'm not editing. When I'm writing, because when you are editing, it takes a lot of time. When I'm writing, I just write. If I'm writing on a topic, I just write anything that comes to mind about that topic. It's much easier for you, even when you're writing. I also give you the same advice. Just write, and then now you can take time to edit. So when you are writing and editing, yeah, I'm telling you, it's so time consuming, and you lose your train of thoughts. But if you decide just to write and then you can edit later, it's much easier. Hey Quincy's, you are so welcome. That's my channel member. You are welcome, Quincy's. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your love and support. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're still celebrating Jeremiah. He deserves a whole week of celebration for his birthday. And that beautiful cake, I hope there's some in the fridge for latecomers. So we are doing today the last part of the 4-part series on the SWOT analysis, and we are talking about the threats. And we are saying that when you prioritize your tasks and manage time effectively, it is so helpful, and it doesn't make work look overwhelming or challenging. So you want the work to really like flow. And that's why you are focusing on the urgent and the important tasks. Like when you are writing your book, like I am doing now, I am focusing on writing first. Then I can take, because it takes time to edit. When I'm editing or rereading now, then I can beef up, I can beef up. Give him a big hug for us. Thank you so much. So when I'm writing, I just write anything that I think about the topic. Then when I am editing now, that's when I fine tune the things that I want to put in. Sometimes the example that I'm using, I'm not very satisfied with it. But since I already have one example, it's easier now for me to to find a more impactful example, because I have one that I wrote like in the spur of the inspiration. So when you have something that you are editing from, it becomes easier for you to do the writing than just thinking in your head and thinking about it in your head. And like we say, when it is written down, you can see it, you can really like, it's touchable, it's visible. So when you see it, you can see how far you have come and how far it's left for you to go. That's why writing is really so, so important. So prioritize your tasks and manage your time effectively. This is doable, and this helps you to achieve more, to become more productive, because you are focusing on the urgent, the important tasks first, and you are like focusing on completing a deadline, or you are delegating for the things that are challenging for you to do. So you are delegating or even eliminating some, because when you are making your project, sometimes you think that something is important, but when you start implementing it, you say, oh, this one is not even necessary. You can remove it from the list. And that's how when you prioritize, it helps you, because you see those things that are not necessary that you can easily remove from your list, and then you see those things that you can easily uh, delegate. Hi, John. You're so welcome. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to have you here. Welcome to the live stream. And please, if you type house in the chat, house like this, just type house and Nightboard will drop your link. So we continue growing together, connecting with each other and growing together. Thank you so much. So type house and Nightboard will drop your link. So prioritizing helps you to focus on the urgent. It helps you to focus on the most important task, and it helps you to stay in your inspiration, because you are doing one thing at a time and you are seeing the results. You know, when you see results, you get more motivated, right? That's why you should prioritize. And of course, building your supportive network, you surround yourself with people who believe in you, and people who can offer encouragement, people who can advise you, people who can give you the resources that you need to grow. So you can join a professional group, you can find your network, find your community. And how do you know your community? Hi, my makeup mom and son, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Find your community. Absolutely. Positive results encourages. Absolutely. So find your community of people who are supportive. You don't want to go to a community where they just tolerate you. You want to be in a community where you are celebrated. Like our community, where we are building each other up. We are growing together. We are helping each other. We want each other to grow up. We are in a community of people who are building each other up. And it's so easy for you to know if this community is right for you or not, because energy is contagious. If you are in a place where there's negative energy, you will immediately know it. Hi, Frugal Mama, welcome. Thank you so much. This is our another super supporter. I greatly appreciate you, Queen. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for your love and support. That's what we are talking about, a network of supportive people. People who are building you up, who are giving you encouragement, who are providing the resources that you need, who are advising you, who are helping you to become a better version of you. So I was saying it's very easy for you to know if the environment is a good one or not, because energy is easily transferred. When you just go to some places and you come back and find negative energy, you find that you are more tired and that that they sap your energy. You just have to avoid that kind of environment next time. You don't go there again, or that kind of person. So there are some people that really take all the energy in you. So don't go there. But sometimes these people who are having the negative energy over you, they are your family. So you cannot cut family together all together, but you can find a way of interacting with your family members who are energy vampires, those who drain your energy. Find proactive ways to help you deal with them. I know that if it's an outsider, you can cut them off. If it's a family member or a spouse, life is all about finding the strategies that work for you, finding the strategies that mitigate any stress on you. Because life itself is already so stressful. So we don't need people that are going to bring more stress. No, you your find your tribe, find your network of people who are building you up. Absolutely, Roxanne. I don't know, maybe if you have an urgent thing to repair, you might just find another company. I know that it's not easy because we are used to working with people. But when you are used to working with people, and the moment you see that they are not delivering the services as you want, change them. I know that's because sometimes it's habit. I also we are used to them. I know, but it's okay to change it after you're paying them. They are not coming to work for free. You are paying them, so get your money's worth. Let you because remember we are talking about cost effective and time efficient. So if these contractors are wasting your time and draining your energy, change them. Find a different company that does the work. You are paying, it's not free. So change them. You can really change them. It's not easy because I know that sometimes we think that we are used to people already, but for real, if they are draining your energy, it's okay to change them. Don't even feel guilty. You are talking about your mental well-being and your mental health and your own self-care, and you are your own priority. So don't even think about, oh my God, what will people say? No, you are, what does this work for me? And that's the most important thing. So you are finding a supportive network. When they say build a supportive network, because you are the one who has to look for that network. But if you are in your in a workplace, let's say the network there, you are not responsible for bringing them together, but you have some toxic colleagues, find a way of working with them in such a way that their negative energy does not drain you. So if you have an absolutely, Queen, you change them, and because you are going to pay. anyways. It's not like they are coming to work for free. So change them and have your peace of mind, and have your thing done on time. Yes, Queen, I am my own priority. We are our own priority. You have to be the first on your own line, which is so important, because nobody can serve you better than you. That's why it depends on you. That's something within your sphere of control. So when you are finding your supportive environment, you are connecting with mentors, you are connecting with coaches, you are connecting with people who are working in the same things that you are working in, and you are attending industry events and workshops and all of those things that are helping you to grow. Remember, they say, hang out with five broke people and you are number six broke person. Hang out with five successful people and you are number six successful person. So choose your tribe wisely, because you are the one who is building your network. And we are saying that even for those networks that don't depend on you, like in your workplace, you can find a way of working with those kind of people. You find a way of working with those kind of people. Hi, Bold Pictures. You are so welcome. Thank you so much. You are welcome to the Resilient Champions chat. And we are in the business of building each other up. So if you type house in the chat, Nightbot will drop your link and we'll connect and grow together. Oh, okay. I just put I didn't know that the ads are popping up and down. I'm so sorry, Queen. I am sorry for the ads that are popping up and down. I don't know. Maybe I had to control them or something. I don't know how wicked they are to control, but we are going to finish very soon. We are almost to third way gone on how to create our proactive success plan. So we have identified what we want, and we are identifying the people with whom we want to work with. And it's also our building. So we have the power to choose who we want. But in the case where it is not within our sphere of control, it is our responsibility to find creative ways to deal with those people who have negative energy. Yes, Queen, that's true. So we are finding, that's why we say we are identifying all of these challenges so as to find creative ways to mitigate the impact on us. And of course, embrace challenges. Stay persistent, embrace challenges, because they say success often requires overcoming obstacles and setbacks. That's why we have to always develop a positive mindset so that we can maintain our motivation when faced with challenges. And that's why we are resilient champions. Because when we encounter roadblocks in this channel, all of us resilient champions, every time we encounter a challenge, we don't give up. What do? We look for the lessons, we look for alternative solutions, or we seek help. And so we are saying, when you are embracing your challenges with an open mindset, you are looking for the lessons so that you can use them to build back better. And when you are looking at your challenges in the eyes of either I win or I learn, it is so empowering, because you don't really like break yourself because you think about the fail. No, you are celebrating the win and also celebrating the lessons, because you didn't fail, you just found one way that did not work. You found two, three ways that did not work, but it doesn't mean that there are not no other ways that work. And so when you are embracing challenges with an open mind, it means you are staying persistent. You are saying that even though I tried today and failed, I am going to continue working. Hi, Chris. Welcome. You are very welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you for stopping by. I greatly appreciate you. I don't take your time for granted. And I thank everyone in the chat who is supporting, even those in the bushes. Thank you so much. Please put house in the chat and Nightbot will drop your link. If you put house, just write house like this, Nightbot will drop your link, because we are in the business of building each other up. So just write house and Nightbot will drop your link. Absolutely. So we can continue connecting with each other and helping each other to grow, because that's the only way we can grow on this white street. You cannot do it alone. And we have already identified our network, our tribe, our community, and we are in the business of building each other up. So I'm really grateful for your time, because I don't take it for granted. You could be doing 1,000 other things, but you came here, and I really am so grateful. Hi, H's Kitchen. You are welcome. Thank you so much. I am so grateful for every new resilient champion who is coming to this channel. You are very welcome. We are in the business of resetting. Here, we are resilient champions because we believe that we don't fail. We either win or we learn. And then we use the lessons from the challenges, I don't want to call them, the lessons from the failure, to build back better. So we are in a community of people who are using the lessons from their challenges to build back better, because life will always throw challenges at us. It is left for us now to use them to build back better. So H's Kitchen, you are welcome. If you write house in the chat, like Chris has written house, Nightbot will drop your link, and we are building each other up. We are genuinely supporting each other because we are growing together. So embrace your challenges and stay persistent, because the more you insist and the more you do it over and over, even for the people who are cooking, you bear with me that when you try a new recipe the first time, sometimes it doesn't come out the way you would have loved. The more you cook it, the more perfect you become. So like any other thing, the more times you do them, the more perfect they become. So each time you do it, the next time is always better than the last time. Hey, Queen, you are welcome. Thank you. You are so welcome. Don't hurt the harvest. Welcome to the live stream. I am so happy to see you. I hope you're doing fine. So stay persistent, embrace your challenges, because why? We are resilient champions. And because why? We have a track record of having overcome adversity, but we are still standing strong. We are still standing strong because why? We are continuously learning and adapting. It's so amazing when you have an open mindset and you just want to learn, because why? The world is constantly changing. Things are constantly changing. Even you see how you're growing. Last year you were not like this. Every new year you've added another year. So the world is constantly changing. Technology is changing. The way people do things changing. Travel, everything is changing and growing. And when like it's just like when you buy your new phone, you have to learn how to use it. You have to adapt. So life is always learning. Like they say, every day is a new lesson. Because most times when we even wake up, even though well planned we have a well planned day, we know that when we get up in the morning, we are going to, like people who work 9 to 5, I'm going to the workplace at 9, I'm going to work till 5. Sometimes you get up and there's some different challenge that comes up. And what happens? You have to adapt. You have to adapt your program. So you will not say, oh my God, I plan to do this today. This one has happened now. I have to wait. No. Sometimes you just have to take the spur of the moment decision. Something has happened now, bam, I have to decide on it. And you have to completely change the program that you had for that day. See, you have to completely change the program that you had for that day, and you keep moving, because you can't say, okay, no, since I planned this, I have to work. No, you are always continuously learning and adapting, because life is not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs. It's like the waves, but we have to learn how to navigate them. Even when we get up and we find something challenging, we what do? We find a way of adapting. We find a way of adapting the plan. True, we already planned to do one thing, and then this emergency has come up. We have to attend to it. And that's how life is easier for you, when you know how to adapt. Because when you are strict and rigid in one thing, you say, no, it has to be the way I wanted. Sometimes you really have to give concession. You don't give up on certain things because you are weaker. It's because you want consensus and you are looking for a solution. So sometimes you really like, okay, you bend the rules because you need answers, and because that's the best thing you can do at that moment. So continuous learning is so important, because we live in a constantly changing world. So it is important to stay updated on current trends, industry trends, new skills, and always seek out opportunities for learning. It doesn't mean that you have to go to school. No, you can learn from everybody, from everyone and everywhere. For those of you who are used to this channel, you remember I was sharing with you that when you have an open mind, you can learn from anybody. I was always like, I come from the era where when you are celebrating yourself, people think that you are showing off. Meanwhile, you have to celebrate your little wins. You have to celebrate yourself. It is for you. You are not doing it for people. And I will share with you guys that I learned how to celebrate myself from my 4-year-old nephew. My 4-year-old nephew, he was always trying to bounce the ball and catch it. He couldn't do it. And one time he bounced it and caught it. And he was, yes, auntie, I did it. Yes, auntie, I did it. And he was dancing around the whole house, happy with himself. Yes, 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 I did it. So you are learning from a 4-year-old how to celebrate your wins, no matter how little. You are learning how to celebrate your wins, no matter how little, from a 4-year-old. You can learn from a 10-year-old, from school, from books, from even you are walking and you see people interacting. You can learn from their experience. You can learn from, like, today is a good day. Can I go out and walk? And then you go out and there's a lot of maybe too many people where you used to go and walk, and maybe they have a party there and all of that. You are just adapting, learning, and making life less stressful because you don't want to be rigid and say, no, this is the way I always do things and I have to always do them like that. No. And sometimes, if the learning requires that you should take a training, attend a workshop or a course, do it, or even read a book. And of course, YT has so many, like you all, like most of you are content creators, you know the millions of channels on YouTube that will teach you everything that you want to know. All the things that you cannot imagine are on YouTube or online. So sometimes you don't even need to pay to learn anything. You go watch a video. Well, you are paying with your time, but you're not paying with money, because everything is a transaction, right? Either you're paying with time, or you're paying with money, or you're paying with both, or you're paying with your talent, or you're bringing value, or your resources. You are always paying. Life is a transaction. We always give and take, give and take, give and take. So if it means you want to take your online courses, you are attending workshops, you are attending networking events, whatever the case, stay updated with the industry trends in whatever industry you are in. Stay informed about news developments, about even the propagation of AI. What is happening in AI today? Learn some of those things, because we all need them. I'm telling you, I resisted AI, but at the end of the day, you have to sail with the winds, like they say, or you sink alone. And it's really also good to learn, just have a working knowledge of all these new things that are happening. Just have an idea. Don't You're not really going to learn as if you want to have a certificate, but you just want to have an idea. You don't know what idea can help you to make your next best step. So it's so useful to create your proactive success plan, because with a SWOT analysis, you can easily create your success plan, because you have identified your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities around you, and the threats. And all of these are the things that help you to find ways to let opportunity meet you when you are prepared. Because when opportunity meets preparedness, success is guaranteed. And what else are we looking for apart from being more and more successful? We want to be more and more successful, right? So that's what we want in our life. We don't want life to be static. We want to be more and more successful. And I'm so happy for all the resilient champions. I always like to remind you about the dedication in this workbook. And let me read it. This workbook is dedicated to all the resilient champions who believe in using lessons from their challenges to build back better. May you find the tools and resources within to identify your unique gifts and use them to become your best, serve humanity, and leave visible footprints for posterity. Anytime you feel stuck in a rut, take responsibility and become your own rescue. And once you start readjusting and adapting, you become unstoppable, and there is nothing more empowering. So remember, the workbook has a lot of brain games that helps you to really find what works for each of the categories. And so I am always so honored to have you, to serve you. It is a big, big pleasure. So thank you so much. I don't know if you have any questions, or if there's anything you want to share. We are in the business of sharing and growing together. But the link to the workbook is in the description. You can recommend the workbook to your friends, to people you know who are struggling to reset their lives. This is a valuable tool to help them. If you want to chat with me, you also have my Instagram handle in the description below. You send me a message and I'll get back to you. So it's so like I'm always so grateful to share my experience, because what are we are in the business of sharing and growing together. And so we are sharing today how to navigate the threats that are in your environment, that are within you. And we are reminding ourselves that by acknowledging these threats, we can develop effective strategies to mitigate the impact on us and ensure that we remain on track to achieve our goals. And we are not looking at the threats to be discouraged. We are looking at the threats and identifying them as a proactive way to develop mitigation strategies that can help us to leverage our strengths and the opportunities around us, address our weaknesses. We have to become adaptable, more and more adaptable, because life is all about change. And by anticipating and tackling potential challenges, we ensure continued professional progress and also self-development. And when opportunities meet preparedness, success is guaranteed. I'm so grateful for everyone in the chat and those who are coming to watch the replay. We are going to end the live stream, but we have to find someone to redirect the live. We are in the business of building each other, and we are in the community where we don't just end your live stream. We find people to ensure continuity. So I don't know if you have any questions. Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Comments are allowed. We can always make comments. We can always share. Okay, let's see who is online so we can redirect them. Okay, last time we last time when we were redirecting, the person went the person ended the live. So please, if you go to we are going to go to Alisa's travels. Please just put Marima, Coach Marima Reid. Please don't go away. Let's support the next person, even if you go in there just for 5 minutes. It's going to help the person. Let's see. Just give me a second, and I'm going to give you the command. Thank you, Miss Patty, for sharing. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful. I would like us to take the green hearts and our green hearts are for resilience. So we're going to take the green heart, and when we land on her live stream, we are going to put the okay. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm going to end this live stream, and then we copy the green heart Coach Merima read, and we are going to Alisa's travel. So we are going to go Coach Merima with the green heart. Green is the symbol for resilience. And I really thank you so much. It's always an honor. Thank you so much. And those who are coming to watch the replay, you are